I think it just tapped into the heart of a global audience. And they loved it to hate it, whatever they wanted to do, but they tuned in. That's what we liked.
Dallas took over the world in the time of what Linda Gray, who played Sue Ellen, called appointment television. There was no pausing or streaming in those days. You had to call the family and make sure they all got on the couch for the next episode. When a cliffhanger came, such as the infamous Who Shot JR, you had to wait for the next episode for answers. That was also part of the show's charm. Its stories could get convoluted, but they were enticing. Its characters could be cruel, but you loved to hate them. Keep watching as Linda Gray reveals the most hated Dallas character. Linda before Dallas. Linda Gray was born September 12, 1940, and raised in Culver City, California. She worked as a model in the 1960s, but acting was her true passion, despite objections from her family. She said,
I was raised in a very strict Catholic family. And so for them, it was like, oh no, you become a nurse or a doctor or a teacher or secretary or something like that. But no, not an actor. And louder, and I thought, okay, this is my passion. I have to do it. And if I fail, but I have to do it.
Linda had trouble getting her foot in the door at first. Unlike other actresses, she wasn't against the idea of starting with commercials. She became one of the most prolific commercial actors of all time. She appeared in almost 400 of them. Her film and TV career began in earnest in 1970. She got guest roles in series like Marcus Welby MD, McCloud, and Switch. She then signed with Universal Pictures. The deal got her roles in films like The Big Ripoff and Dogs. Her first major TV role was in 1977 on the show All That Glitters. It was, ironically enough, a spoof of the soap opera format that later made her famous. Joining Dallas, Linda landed the role of Sue Ellen Ewing in 1978. The casting process was unique. Her character was only meant to be a small part. There wasn't even any dialogue written for her during the audition. But the casting director fought for the rest of the team to see her. It was 5 o'clock on a Friday and everyone was ready to go home. They wrote a scene for her quickly and she went into a monologue that impressed them. She said she immediately knew she got the job. Linda was a recurring guest role for the first 5 episodes. She then became a series regular by the second season. Her character quickly became a favorite of critics. One writer for the Biography channel said she was one of the most noticeable members of the cast, saying, quote, "Who could ever forget Dallas, with the vodka-swilling Sue Ellen Ewing, replete with shoulder pads long before Dynasty, staggering around South Fork Ranch with a permanently tearful expression as she suffered the brunt of J.R. Ewing's evil ways." The Boulevard called her, quote, "the person we couldn't help but root for each week as she drank and slept her way through one ordeal after another." Linda's acting as Sue Ellen also got her plenty of praise. She was nominated for 2 Golden Globes for Best Actress and a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. The international appeal of Dallas also earned her awards in other countries, including a Bambi Award in Germany and an Il Gatto in Italy. She was even named Woman of the Year in the Hollywood Radio and Television Society in 1982. The character everyone loves to hate. Dallas was full of characters. With such a large ensemble, it's impossible for all of them to be received well by fans. A few members, such as Afton Cooper, Callie, and Mitch, were seen as more annoying than anything else and didn't add much to the show. However, the series' most hated character was also arguably one of its best. Everyone loved to hate the ranch's patriarch, J.R. Ewing. His cruel and womanizing ways didn't detract from the show's charm. They were central to the dramatic storylines that helped keep fans hooked. He was a major part of why viewers kept coming back. He was also crucial to one of its most memorable moments. The world watched with bated breath when he was shot by an unknown assailant. Fans were dying to see the Who Shot JR cliffhanger be resolved. Linda played Sue Ellen, his long-suffering wife. She was fine about stepping into the role, but it did make her wonder. She's a dedicated actress who likes to dig deep into everything she stars in, and she makes them better by doing so. Linda wondered how JR and Sue Ellen ever got together because it was never addressed in the early episodes. She said,
I looked at JR one day, early on, and I thought, who would marry him? I mean, that was strong. I just looked at him. I didn't have much to say early on. And I remember looking at Larry, and it was in a scene, and I just remember thinking, who in the hell would marry that man? So dysfunctional, so bad, so weird.
It was a dysfunctional dynamic if there ever was one, perhaps one of the worst on television. Dysfunctional families are a common feature of soap operas and even sitcoms. Seeing the couple bicker and treat each other poorly could have gotten old without a decision by Linda that helped give it more depth than the rest. She says,
I remember going to Leonard, our wonderful producer, and saying to him, could you bring in Sue Ellen's mother? Because there had to be something in her childhood that made her kind of be attracted to a man like that. So he did. He brought in Martha Scott, and bottom line is that she raised Sue Ellen to marry the richest man in Texas. Bottom line. She groomed her, and she became Miss Texas, and that appealed to J.R. Ewing. And so it was a match not made out of love. It was made out of some kind of ego dysfunctional thing between the two of them.
Giving this additional depth to the series was one of the best decisions they could have made. It made audiences think about why the characters were in such dysfunctional relationships instead of just accepting them. It made the show more interesting to watch. Linda also fought to direct an episode. Her co-star Larry Hagman helped by threatening to leave if she wasn't allowed to. The staff gave her a challenging one when she took the lead, but she rose to it. All of her co-stars were pleased by how she handled it. It's undeniable that Linda's work helped turn Dallas into the international phenomenon it became. Acting after Dallas. Linda left Dallas in 1989. Her career continued long after that, and she's still acting today when she can. She appeared in the 1991 film Oscar. She had a leading role in the series Models Inc. from 1994 to 95. She also appeared in made-for-TV movies such as 1993's Moment of Truth, Where's My Daughter, and 1994's Accidental Meeting. She's also an accomplished stage actress. She was Mrs. Robinson in the West End production of The Graduate in 2001 and on Broadway the next year. She played Aurora Greenaway in the premiere of Terms of Endearment. She also played the fairy godmother in a London pantomime production of Cinderella in 2014. She even made her theater directing debut with Murder in the First in 2002. She hasn't abandoned the world of the soap opera. She guest starred on episodes of Melrose Place and appeared in 5 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful and the CW series 90210. She also appeared on the British soap opera Hollyoaks from November 2015 to November 2016, and then again for 2 days in February 2017. She even returned to play Sue Ellen a few more times. She said she enjoyed getting back to the town of Dallas as often as possible. In her own words,
I love being here. I love the people here. I love the memories that have been part of my life.
She appeared in Dallas J.R. Returns, Dallas War of the Ewings, and the follow-up series Dallas from 2012 to 2014. When asked about what she's doing now, Linda said,
I do everything. I guess I was born loving life, and that's been the way I've kind of gone through life. It's like, oh, this is fun. Let's do this. Let's try that.
It's an inspiring comment considering what's happening in her life. She's dealt with personal tragedy more often than fans may know. She was married to Ed Thrasher, an art director and photographer, from 1962 until his death from leukemia in 1983. They had 2 children, Jeff Thrasher and Kelly Sloan. Jeff also died of leukemia in 2020. Cancer has been a big part of Linda's life. She's the co-chair of the organization honoring one of her closest friends, Farrah Fawcett, along with Alan Gray. It works to provide cancer research to the world. She's also used that personal experience in her work. It helped her give a realistic performance as the friend of a breast cancer sufferer in 2006's Reflection of a Life. Linda remains a respected actress, and her work on Dallas will be remembered forever. She helped make her character more rounded and enhance the storylines that included the most despicable characters on the show. Now it's time to hear from you. Who was your favorite character from Dallas? Let us know in the comments section below.